This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Andrew Risch, NBA Historian, where we take a break from the current season to have a conversation about assorted players and places and teams, and we do deep dives, mock drafts, rankings. We're just keeping his basketball brain active. Ha ha ha. So, enjoy the show, and thank you for listening.
All right, it's time for another mini-sode. Let's keep your brain active. This Andrew Risch, NBA historian.
Yeah, you gotta understand, this show is just a vehicle to keep my brain functioning so that the next show can go off without a hitch. So Adam is my my mental constructor. He keeps my basketball brain flowing. So we always like to play our little NBA brain games because let's be honest, the NBA loves to complicate the shit out of things.
There's been thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of NBA players, correct?
Yeah, I would say probably in the tens of thousands. Yeah.
How many do you think have played 1,000 games or more?
Probably maybe 100 to 200. Is that too high?
Nope, you have hit it on the dot. 157 players have played over 1,000 games. And it's funny, while looking this up, players who just fell short.
Okay.
Devin Harris, 985.
Dude, like, so he had his all-star run with Dallas and then New Jersey Nets, but he stuck around for another 7 years where he was just a utility guy, mainly with Dallas again.
He did. Then this is a kind of, they've all stuck around because this is the obviously.
You gotta understand, if you played 900 games, let's say you took 10 games off, that's 70 games a year. That means you played at least 12 to 13 seasons full time. That's crazy.
Mike Dunleavy, 986.
Junior? Wow.
Junior.
He's actually now the GM of the Warriors.
And Nene, 965.
That's surprising. I always call Nene. We always love to talk about giving someone a new contract because it's tradable. I always call that the Nene deal, where Nene got a contract from Masai Ujiri when he was the Nuggets GM, only to trade him because he knew it was a much more tradable contract.
And there's only been 157 people who played 1,000 games. We've now gone to 160. Taj Gibson actually made 35 games last year.
Oh wow!
So he's at 1,002.
Where was he? Was he in Charlotte?
Charlotte.
Yeah, I thought so.
So Taj Gibson made it, Steph Curry made it, and Drew Holiday made it. This coming year, here are the following people who are potentially eligible. Harrison Barnes, who just needs to play 7 games.
Oh, he'll do that. Yeah.
Vucevic only needs to play 28.
Vucevic never gets injured. That's the thing. So he'll definitely get there.
Tobias Harris needs to make 30 games, and he'll be at the 1,000 team club. Tobias Harris also would have been in this ranking list of people who've never won anything, any award, any prize, and just sort of been there.
You know what's crazy about Harris? I think he was a second round pick with the Bucks.
He was the first round pick. He was like the 19th or 21st pick.
Okay, he went to the Bucks originally. That was his first team.
Yes, his 1 year out of Tennessee. More of a question mark. Kevin Love needs 48 games.
I don't know. I think he might retire, to be honest.
Jonas Valanciunas needs 63.
He can. I know there was a lot of drama about whether or not he was going to take that EuroLeague offer.
And then Eric Gordon needs 75 games, which that might be a 2 season.
He's back in Philadelphia. It's possible, but he gets hurt all the time.
He's a DNP, just a locker room guy. So those are the people who could potentially make it next year.
So this game, we are going to rank the Road Warriors who were unheralded. Okay. These guys all won nothing. They've won no awards, no fanfare, they played 1,000 games, but we're just there.
Yeah, journeyman.
Journeyman. First, we are going to start in the year of 1998.
Okay.
He's a 2005 champion. He played for 18 years on 8 teams. He only averaged 5.8 points and 4.7 rebounds.
I think I know it.
Who is it?
Nazi Muhammad.
Very good.
I think Nazi was on. Yeah, you said champion. He was on the Spurs. On the Spurs. His best years, I think, were probably the early 2000s, but I don't remember where he played, what team he played for full time at the time. You know.
He's been all over.
Yeah, but he didn't stay for one team for longer than 2 seasons. That's the thing.
He started with Philly, moved to Atlanta, New York, San Antonio, Detroit, Charlotte, Oklahoma City, Chicago again.
Yeah, I remember the Charlotte years because I think he was on the Charlotte team when the Bobcats, when they actually made the playoffs.
Yep.
Yep.
So I have 10 people on this list. We're just starting with him.
Okay.
So he will be the baseline, okay?
All right.
Second, he used the 2001 draft. He played 1,181 games. He's a 2016 champion. He averaged 12.6 points and 4 rebounds.
Okay, it's one of two. Can I say the two? Or do I have to guess one?
No, you don't even need to guess. You could just.
It's either Richard Jefferson or Mo Williams.
It is Richard Jefferson.
Yeah, RJ was good, man. You want to hear
Was
a funny
he good,
thing?
or is he just with better?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you a funny story. He was talking about this when he was doing draft coverage. He wasn't invited to the green room in the 2001 draft. They invited all those high schoolers, but they didn't invite Richard Jefferson. And he wound up being like a really good wing for the Nets.
But he played with Vince Carter. Then he went to Cleveland. He played with LeBron. You're just playing. Your stats are inflated because you're playing with better people.
I remember he was playing with Dallas. He was getting ready to retire, and he changed his mind and signed with the Cavs, and that was the year they won the title. I remember that.
Where would we rank RJ?
Above Nazi Muhammad. Yep.
Okay.
Nazi was solid, but Richard Jefferson, also a great athlete. He also was on the Nightmare team, the 2004 Olympic team that didn't win the gold. So that's a red mark.
I didn't mean to sort of start off weak, but Naz Muhammad is probably going to be close to the bottom of this list when we get to it. Okay, moving on. Playing 1,098 games. The 2003 draft. 2-time champion, 2017, 2018. 16 years. Average 6.8 points and 5.8 rebounds. He is a big man.
He's at 2003?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know this one because he was one of my favorites in New Orleans. David West.
No.
What?
David West was an all-star a couple times.
He was, yes, with New Orleans. So
these are people who all were never all-stars, didn't win any awards.
Then let me get one more guess, because when you say the champion, I know it's a giveaway. So 17, the champion was Golden State. So I'll say it's Matt Barnes.
Zaza Pachulia.
Wow, they had a lot of old people on that 2017 Warrior team, huh? Zaza Pachulia, Matt Barnes, and David West.
So where would you put him?
Game 7, baby. He would go below Jefferson, but above Nazi Muhammad. Do you think it's bad or good that there's literally a foul call named after him because of the injury he gave to Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs? It's literally. Have you noticed that ever in a game? Oh, it's the Pachulia play where you slide your foot underneath. It used to be the Bruce Bowen play. Now it's the Pachulia play.
Okay, we're moving to 2004. 2004 draft. 1,118 games. 2009 champion. Played for 18 years, averaged 10.4 points and 4.8 rebounds.
Okay, I
If you
think
need another hint,
No, I don't.
okay.
You can give me the hint if I get it wrong. But I feel pretty confident on this one. Trevor Ariza.
Yup, he fell to the second round because people were afraid of
Yeah,
his knees.
he was from UCLA, yeah.
And then just retired like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm. I remember the trade they did. He was involved actually I think he was involved in the Knicks trade involving Steve Francis, where for some reason Isaiah Thomas decided, okay, I want Stephon Marbury and Steve Francis. So he sent Ariza to Orlando. And then the Lakers, right before the Pau Gasol deal that everybody talks about because it was such a one-sided deal with Memphis, they got Ariza for, I think, Chuck Evans. Was that who it was?
I don't know when this is dropping, but we also may have done or will be doing an episode on the players most traded, and Trevor Ariza leads the league with 11 trades over his career.
He was, and then he was also in New Orleans too.
Yep. He was traded for everyone and everything.
He also was a grizzled vet by the end. I remember Trae Young had this obsession when he kind of became like a big, like he started to become a top player, and he started to do the nutmeg on everybody. He tried to do it to Ariza literally football tackled him, and he got suspended. I remembered that. He also opted out of the bubble. He was one of the very few players who did that. He was on the Laker team, and he opted out.
I believe, didn't he do it, or was it either him or Avery Bradley did because they had like a young child who couldn't.
It was both. I believe it was both of them. I think Ariza decided not to play, but I think he was playing for Portland, not the Lakers. Avery Bradley was playing for the championship Lakers.
Yes, Avery Bradley was. So yeah, where would you put him?
He was a good player and he was a great athlete. I would put him above Jefferson. So right now he would be at the top.
Okay, Trevor Ariza on the top. Mm-hmm. Moving on next. I don't want to call him the big. This is kind of the definition of what I think of. He was just there. He was always there. Again, these are all people who never won anything, and you look at him and be like, he was in the league for all those years. He really didn't do anything, did he? It's kind of like
he was like the fly on. He was the fly on the wall. Yeah.
15-year career, 2005, 0 championships, 10.2 points, 5.2 rebounds.
Okay. I would have to get a guess on this. So you said 2005?
2005.
And he averaged
top of the lottery.
Oh, he was kind of higher. He was a higher player. Ooh, this is a little tougher. I remember that 05 draft had Darren Williams and Chris Paul, but that's not them.
No, those guys won, and he was taken above them.
And Williams actually retired before 2020. The way you're telling me is that this guy's last season was 2020 or 2021. Can you give me the last team that he played for?
You already answered it. It was the Milwaukee Bucks, which I believe was probably a COVID pickup. Started his career with Atlanta, moved to Utah, and then Charlotte. You already said his name.
Mo Williams?
Marvin Williams.
I said Mo Williams earlier. I said Darren Williams earlier, just now.
Yeah, and you said he was Darren Williams and Chris Paul. And I go, you're like, Williams retired. Must retired 2021.
I said Williams. Man,
Marvin when you were Williams... talking to yourself, you talked yourself to the answer and then immediately dismissed it.
Marvin Williams was a 6-man on the North Carolina team that won it all, which actually had guys that wound up not having that long of a career: Raymond Felton, Rashad McCants, and Sean May. And he was actually solid for a good while in Atlanta. the thing that always hung over Marvin is that he got picked either between Chris Paul and Darrell Williams or before Chris Paul and Darrell
Before
Williams.
them, he was the
And
second pick.
that was his stigma for his entire career. We could have had these guys, but we took Marvin Williams.
Yeah, and like I said, this is just sort of the definition of like, oh yeah, he was there. Yeah, he played for.
He pitched threes, and he was big and strong. He had big, strong
He
shoulders.
played there. He played in the league. He played over 1,000 games. Really? Yeah, he started for over 800 of them. Really? Like, why don't I remember him? Yeah, he was just forgettable. He was there.
Well, like I literally forgot about it. That's the first one I've gotten wrong.
So
I
where would you put him?
I'd put him above Pachulia, but I would put him below Jefferson.
That sounds about right. All right, another player who I believe might be active currently.
Okay. Okay.
No, he's currently not on a team. He was just cut.
Okay.
He was a deadline pickup last year for Phoenix. 17-year career, 1,172 games, 2007 draft, averaged 12.1 points and 5.6 rebounds.
Man. And he was an older guy.
Yep, and Phoenix just picked him up.
You said 2007 draft.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 12 points and 5 rebounds. That sounds like a bigger guy. Can you give me a hint?
He was traded for Jakob Poeltl in a first.
Man, why am I drawing a blank on these guys?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket.
Okay. Now it's starting to click.
Drafted
give me just a second.
Philly.
Yeah, now I'm getting it now. Just give me just a second. Yep, because I was actually thinking about Derek Favors when you said, but I knew Favors wasn't drafted in 07. It's Thaddeus Young.
It is Thaddeus Young. Yeah, can you believe he averaged 12 points a game over his career?
You know why I think Thaddeus stuck around for so long? Number one, he was a good defensive player, and he actually had enough wingspan to play center. So a lot of teams like Philly and what other teams did you say that he played at? Toronto,
Philly, Minnesota, Brooklyn, Indiana, Chicago, San Antonio, Toronto, and then
Indiana he was at for a while. He would basically play a small ball big, and he could switch. So a lot of coaches loved to play him because they didn't have to worry about switching against him. Did he ever win a title?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. But Young is good. Will he play again? He's already passed the threshold of 1,000, so that's neither here nor there. But will he play again? I think so. I think he'll play again.
So where do you put him? Do you put him above or below Marvin Williams? Because I think
I would put him above Marvin Williams. I also don't have a problem putting him above Richard Jefferson.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Richard was a good offensive player, but I think Thaddeus was just a better two-way player.
Okay.
Another trivia there about Thaddeus. He was a one and doneer the same year as another guy at Georgia Tech, Javaris Crittenton, who was convicted of murder.
who brought a gun into the locker room with Gilbert Arenas.
Also got into the Gilbert Arenas mess, yes, for the Bouye.
Got kicked out of the NBA for it, and then wound up killing somebody. What a shock!
Yes, very much so.
Okay,
we could probably do a whole. I mean, this might not make it. We could probably do a whole mini-sode about the scandal players like Bison Dele and Lorenzen Wright. There's a few others we could talk about.
Moving on, this is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the last of the current era.
All right.
He is also active. He is from the 2008 draft. He's played 1,053 games. He just re-signed with the Clippers for a second stint.
I think I know who this is. Nicholas Batum.
10.4 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists over his career. Just does a little bit of everything.
after Parker, I don't think there weren't too many like elite French players that came to the NBA until Batum. I might be wrong about that, but
Boris
Batum,
Diaw,
Boris Diaw was good. That's true.
because he
But
was a defensive force. I think
when he
I
was in
would put him.
Portland, but in his early years when he was with Portland, you could see how good he was. Then he wound up getting too expensive for Portland, and he went to Charlotte, and he got a big deal in Charlotte. But unfortunately, he got that deal when he was going to the downturn of his career by 2016, and he kind of just floundered in Charlotte until he finally moved. But he was helpful for the Clippers and for the Sixers. Also a very good international player. I can't even tell you how many Olympic games he's played in, or FIBA games he's played in.
But just no awards. Just always been there, been a starter most of his career.
He was on that. He was on that one of those Clipper teams that almost got there, but they got messed up by either the bubble or Kawhi Leonard tearing his ACL. So he got close, but he just at this point he hasn't had a ring. But he is a solid player. Also, pretty much came to the NBA bald. I don't ever remember him with hair. Even when he got drafted.
Okay, that's strange. So where would you put him?
I would put Batum for sure above Jefferson.
So above Jefferson, you have Thaddeus Young and Trevor Ariza up top.
Above Thaddeus Young, but below Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza was a key defender on a championship team, which I think is a plus.
Okay, now we have a couple from the Veterans Committee. They've pushed a few through.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First, from the 1990 draft.
Oh, wow. Here we go.
That's why I'm like, this is the Veterans Committee put their people in.
Yeah.
2004 champion, 15-year career, 10.3 points, 5.9 rebounds.
I already know it. I can't believe I already know this, but I do. Because he was a really good player for the Hornets. Eldon Campbell.
Of course, yes.
Eldon Campbell. He played you want to hear a crazy thing? You know who his teammate was in Clemson when he got drafted? Dale Davis.
Dale
Dale
Davis.
Davis. Horace was a few years before that, but Dale Davis and him, they were actually on that Clemson team with Tate George. If you ever seen that clip where Tate George for UConn hits the game winner, that was the Clemson team that had Dale Davis and Eldon Campbell. He played for the Lakers when they were really young, but somehow beat the Sonics in the '95 playoffs, which shocked everyone when they had Nick the Quick Van Exel and Eddie Jones and a couple players like that, Cedric Ceballos. But what happened was they got Shaq, and Shaq was like, we need to get rid of these players and get my players. And one of them that got dumped was Campbell because he was a center. But he went to the Hornets, and he was still a good player. I think he made an all-star game as a Hornet.
He made no all-star games. That's why he's on the list.
He did not make an all-star game?
That's why I've had to cut people because they made all-star games. These are people who've received nothing.
Wow, that's shocking. But yeah, he played for that Pistons team that won the title. He was a backup big along with Corliss Williamson.
So where would you put him?
I'd put him at the top. I put him above Ariza. You know, he was a
Okay.
good he was a force inside, man. He could block shots.
All right, our second pick from the Veterans Committee, the 1995 draft.
Okay.
1-0, 1,110 games.
All right.
8
go ahead.
points, 6.5 rebounds.
All right. This is a shot in the dark because he was the number one pick in that draft. Was it Joe Smith?
No.
Okay. Joe Smith didn't play 1,000 games. Well, Kevin Garnett, no, he's an all-star. This guy did not win a title, didn't win any accolades. 1995. I mean, it can't be Stoudemire. Stoudemire won Rookie of the Year that year. Rasheed Wallace, nope. And I promise you, I'm not looking at the list. I promise. I'm thinking off the top of my head here. Can you give me any guess?
I know him as a Knick.
You knew him as a New York Knick.
He was big in the Knicks in the 90s.
Okay. That gives me some help.
Drafted to Miami. Spent 2 years in Dallas. From 99 to 2005 in New York. Then he went to Phoenix, Seattle, San Antonio, Milwaukee, Chicago, Portland, and then he ended his career back at the Knicks.
Well, I think now that you're saying it to me, I think I know who it might be. It might be Marcus Camby.
No, because Marcus Camby was number 2
It's
pick and was drafted to
96.
Toronto.
Okay, so who was it?
Kurt Thomas.
And I don't remember. I barely remembered Kurt Thomas. I do. Yeah, I don't even remember the college. I thought he played maybe at TCU, but
He
yeah, Kurt
did
Thomas.
play at TCU.
He did. Yeah,
Mhm.
because there's only two players who ever came out of TCU in the in the 90s. It was him and this guy who played for the New Orleans Hornets. I remember named Lee Nailon.
Lee Nallen, yes. I remember
Yeah,
him.
Lee Nailon. But Kurt Thomas, I remembered because he was. This is the one thing I do remember about Kurt Thomas. Okay, he was. I mean, other than him being actually a solid 3-point shooter and a good defensive big, I remember when the Suns played the Spurs in 07 and they had I mean the Suns were awesome, but so were the Spurs. And the second round was it was one of those rare situations, Adam, where the second round playoff series was the NBA Finals. The winner of that series was going to win the championship. And Steve Nash got bumped by Robert Horry, but Amari Stoudemire and Boris Diaw left the bench, so they got automatically suspended. Everybody said it was a conspiracy theory so that the Suns couldn't win the title. But the starting center in the game, in the pivotal Game 5 tiebreaker, was Kurt Thomas. I remember that. Kurt Thomas for 40 minutes against Tim Duncan. The Spurs won that game.
So where would you put him?
I'd put him he's above Nazi Muhammad, but I probably wouldn't go further than that. I would probably
Zaza?
I would put him below Jaja because Jaja at least played on a championship team.
Okay. I thought about putting Joe Smith. He was one of the last cuts I had to make. Some I have him for the trades episode.
Joe Smith is kind of like I said about Jaja with the foul call about him putting his foot underneath. Everyone knows Joe Smith for the Joe Smith rule where you can't do contracts under the table. Because Minnesota got punished for doing that to try to get a deal for Joe Smith to stay there for less money. And Kevin McHale got suspended for 2 years by David Stern.
All right. Now our final one, last one from the Veterans Committee. He is a 1999 champion. He was from the 1988 draft.
Okay.
1,054 games, 16-year career, 8.4 points, 5.5 assists.
Oh, wow. I can guess this one probably without issue. It's down to two people. So I'll give you the guess. When you said the assist, it gave away. I almost said Sean Elliott.
Nope.
But it's not. Even though he was also an 88 guy or 89 guy. 88. I'll guess two people. It's either Terry Porter or Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson, yes, undrafted.
Avery Johnson played at Southern. He played at an HBCU.
Played at Southern.
That's how talented he was.
Undrafted, Seattle picked him up, and then he bounced all around, eventually winning in San Antonio.
Yeah, he and then he became a head coach for a team that went to the finals with the Mavericks. Then he kind of just meandered after that. He got fired from there. He coached the Nets, and I do remember this. He got fired on Christmas Day. He was the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets when they decided that they made those big moves for Pierce and Garnett, and they struggled in the first 2 months. And Mikhail Prokhorov fired him on Christmas Day. I was like, what? And then he coached at Alabama for some reason.
So where will you put him?
Avery had that big moment where he hit the go-ahead shot against the Knicks in Game 5 to clinch the first title for the Spurs. That automatically puts him probably above Jefferson and above Thaddeus Young. I would probably put him below Trevor Ariza, though.
So above or below Nick Batum?
Above Nick Batum because he played longer.
All right, so here is your rankings of these these unheralded road warrior veterans. Coming in last place, Nazim Muhammad. In ninth, Kurt Thomas. Eighth place, Zaza Pachulia. In seventh, who kind of I would have put as a benchmark, Marvin Williams.
Yeah.
He was there. Six, you got Richard Jefferson. Five, Thaddeus Young. It's higher than I thought you'd put him.
He was just a good fit everywhere he played, you know.
4, Nick Batum. 3, Avery Johnson. Number 2, Trevor Ariza. And your best unheralded person over 1,000 games. No awards, no nothing. All rookie league teams don't count. That doesn't matter. It just won nothing. No All-Star games, no All-NBA, no nothing. Eldon Campbell is your...
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise, but I could have sworn he made an All-Star game a couple times, but he may have been a reserve or something. I thought for sure he made it, but he was a good center. He was a good center. I don't know how many years he played after the title he won with the Pistons. I want to say he retired after that.
Nope, he played after that.
Wow. That's how long-standing he was. Like, he really, like, he was a legit 7-foot guy.
He was already old there, but in 2005, he got either traded or he went to New Jersey and then back to Detroit at the end.
Mm-hmm. You know, yeah, and they almost won one again, but they lost at the Spurs.
He played one more year.
I don't have second thoughts about that. Ariza was a really good player. I almost thought he would go number 1, but he was a really good player. I think you said 18 seasons, something in that range. Like he played for a very long time. Avery Johnson was such a good player. You want to talk about a scary team? Imagine having to play Southern on your schedule, and their 2 best players are Avery Johnson and the late Bobby Phills. Imagine that.
That's tough, especially for a low tier.
I think they actually. Like I don't remember if Avery played on this team, but one of those teams actually beat Georgia Tech in the first round of the tournament. Like, and then where did you say he was drafted? By the Nuggets at first?
He was undrafted, Avery Johnson, and then Seattle picked him up.
Seattle, so he played probably behind Gary Payton for a minute. And then he wound up with San Antonio for a good while. So he was just a really good player. You know, also he had that really like nasally, you know, his like high pitched voice. Like it was like when you heard his voice, you knew it was Avery Johnson.
All right. Well, I'm glad this one kept your brain active because we bounced over all sort of eras with this one.
We did. Yeah, for sure.
All right, then. So for Andrew Reich, I'm Adam Murray. Have a good one.
Take care.